Good Thursday afternoon. I'm KHOU11 meteorologist Kim Castro, and here's a look at your extended weather forecast. Yep, we are under a weather impact alert day for today. Really, the later on in the day we go, the kind of worse we're going to see the roadways get. We've got rounds of rain starting at 2 o'clock. With that much accumulation over a prolonged period of time, we could certainly see some high water spots, and that could lead to some flooded roadways. So if you typically travel in some spots that have issues with high water, or they're low-lying areas, poor drainage areas, take an alternate route and avoid yourself that headache of having to turn around, because this is going to be the most impactful day that we've had in the last 7 days. The most widespread rain chances coming in for today. Here's a live look across southeast Texas for the noon hour, and you'll notice that it's pretty overcast everywhere you look. Galveston Island specifically, stormy. That's where the shower activity is right now. This coastal low is going to start to move further inland throughout the afternoon, and it's going to really wring out the atmosphere. This is kind of the last hoorah of this rainmaker. Gulf Freeway right now, looking at some stormy clouds, but not much shower activity just yet. 83 degrees. We had a couple of showers this morning. Now we're in a little bit of a lull, a break period. We'll see things pick back up here momentarily. So your afternoon forecast looks like this. Because we're socked in with quite a bit of cloud cover, we've got the chance for that rain-cooled air, even a couple of isolated storms. Remember the rules when it comes to thunder. If you hear it, if you see the lightning, head inside for at least 30 minutes. Temperatures are going to be fairly tame for this time of year. 86 degrees, that's going to be your high at 4 o'clock. And then notice that's right on the money where we said, the shower activity would start to pick up, and then it's pretty much all afternoon, all evening that we've got a chance to see those showers. So let's take you through time. Future track stopping it at 3 o'clock, and showers wrapping around this low, and a counterclockwise flow brings in the moisture right into Montgomery, right into Harris County. The Loop, the Beltway, the city center, I think gets hit with some downpours throughout the 2, 3, 4 o'clock hour. I'm hopeful that 5, some of the models are hinting maybe we get a little bit of a break. Still seeing rain, but maybe on the lighter side, light to moderate shower activity for 5, which would be great because I know that's when most of us are headed home. But if you have any Thursday evening plans, not so great. Another batch, another kind of wraparound rain band coming in for 7, 8 o'clock, and that means more downpours. Potentially a little north of downtown, so maybe into the Woodlands, the airport. Hopefully you don't have a flight today. Might be a little bit messy out there. And that continues until 10 o'clock. Notice still seeing showers closer towards the bay. Maybe Kima getting in on some shower activity as late as 10 o'clock. So because of these several rounds of rain that we're going to see, I've got us at a level 2 threat on the 1 to 4 scale when it comes to flooding. So that can mean high water spots. That can mean isolated street flooding too. That includes Harris County. Notice all of us have some sort of a threat, but the lowest threat is a level 1 on the 1 to 4 scale, marginal, and then it gets a little bit higher the closer to the coastline and the closer to Louisiana that we get. So in that heightened level 2 threat is going to be Liberty County, a small section of Montgomery, Harris County, so downtown Houston included in that, Fort Bend, so Sugar Land, Richmond included in that, Brazoria, Lake Jackson included, Galveston Island, and Chambers County included in that too. So quite a few of us under the gun for the potential of some flooding today. And that's no surprise. Look how much rain we've had so far in the day today. For Galveston, anywhere between 1 to maybe 1.5 inches of rain, Boulevard Peninsula. Look at Seagull Lane getting close to 3 inches, and then College Drive already up and over 3 inches of rainfall. So a special emphasis, a special focus for the coastline that is under a flood watch until 7 o'clock Friday morning. So again, because it's a coastal low, first area of impact is the coast, and several rounds of rain could lead to some issues. I know the Gulf Freeway in League City typically has some flooding issues, so I'll be watching that spot closely for you guys. A live look at the Gulf Freeway towards downtown again. And here's a look at current conditions. So again, I'm recording this right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is where we're at. 83 degrees. It feels like 90 though, because all these clouds are holding on to a lot of moisture. That is measured with the dew point. That is quite literally the number that measures the moisture in the atmosphere. And the higher that number is, oh, the stickier it gets. Anytime I see the dew points in the 70s, that's that summer muggy feel. It's still going to feel like that on Friday, but boom, look at what happens as we head into the weekend. A nosedive in humidity. 60s, yeah, maybe it's a little sticky, maybe it's a little humid for the layperson, for a person that isn't used to this kind of humidity or isn't from Houston. For me, dew points in the 60s feel dry because after weeks of the 70s, it's going to feel really nice. So big changes because of a front. Our first fall front comes in this weekend, and this is what it's going to do. Wipe away the cloud cover, wipe away the rain, and then the humidity by Sunday too. Hey, this weekend, we're going to be watching the tropics closely as well, even though we're going to be enjoying that beautiful sunshine because it's September 5th now and hurricane season peaks. Usually it's the most active on September 10th. And right now I am watching the tropics and there's quite a bit of activity. Notice luckily the majority of the areas that are highlighted here by the National Hurricane Center have lower chances to become named storms, or anywhere between 30, 20 to just 10%. Now I won't spend too much time on the ones that are in the Eastern Atlantic or the Central Atlantic. These have a long way to go and low chances of development. I'm not going to talk about this system either because again, it's not going to be impacting the continental US. However, these two might be a little bit more of interest. Specifically, I want to talk about this 30% chance, but I won't ignore this, which is a 10% chance for development. This is our coastal lobe, by the way. I don't think it's going to get a name, not just because the National Hurricane Center only gives it a 10% chance, but also because it's tracking inland. So it's going to lose its moisture source, its fuel source, and so I don't think it's going to have anything or enough time or enough favorable conditions for it to develop. Now, the 30% chance area, that's going to be one to watch because of a couple of different reasons. So the National Hurricane Center has this potentially crossing over the Yucatan and ending up in the Gulf. So anytime we see anything in the Gulf, of course, it raises an eyebrow. We're in the Gulf, so we just have to pay a little extra attention to it. The models are showing it moving into the Yucatan this weekend. So that's now by, there you go, Saturday, it's in the Yucatan, and then by early next week, that's when maybe it could still have something left over there in the Gulf. This particular model shows that not happening. This system continuing to track inland, so towards Veracruz, and then eventually exiting into the Pacific. But if it nudges just a little bit further north, it does end up in the Gulf, and then it is of interest to us. So check back in with me at least once a day for an update on that. A recap. We've got a weather impact alert day for today. 80% chance for showers and storms. That's high. So keep that in mind. If you were thinking that you wanted to have some plans for today, maybe kick them to tomorrow. It's going to be a much better day. Only some isolated showers in the morning. And then this weekend, do not waste this weekend. It's going to be really nice. Sunshine, less humid, and lows in the 60s Sunday through Wednesday.